demonstrations, Democracy have yet to receive court injunction preventing them from holding their protest as police assures of readiness to provide security. Still in the bulletin, residents of Kojokrom in the Western region lament apparent neglect of community leading to what they describe as low development. We'll bring you some highlights from Channel 1 TV's Community Forum program.
Most of them politicians, they have taken us for granted, especially drivers. They don't care about us. They don't even think about us.
And later on the campaign trail, governance analyst Professor Bafwa Jimaindua cautions political parties against plenty political promises ahead of the December elections.
So it's important for the politicians first to let the citizens know the nature of the economy of the country. And they cannot bypass that and make promises that they know too well the economy cannot carry at this time.
We have details of these and more stories coming your way in the next 30 minutes. Remember, the news is live around the globe on citinewsroom.com. Across the country, we're live on a number of affiliate stations. In the Western region, find us on Beach 105.5 FM in Takrady. In the Bunu region, this is J Life 95.5 FM in Sunyani. In the Ashanti region, tune in to Focus 94.3 FM in Kumasi, Orange 107.9 FM in Kumasi. In the Volta region, this is Revival 99.3 FM in Tajevu. In the Northern region, you can tune into Radio Bimbela 91.9 FM. In the Upper East region, find us on Tanga 93.7 FM in Boga. And if you are in the Upper West region, this is Tunsong 97.3 FM in Wa and Jirapa 96.1 FM. Please stay for details.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Grateful for your company this afternoon. Let's begin the bulletin from the Western region. And residents of Kojokrom in the region have voiced their discontent and disappointment over the lack of progress and development in the community, despite numerous appeals to authorities. Now, during an appearance on Channel 1 TV's Community Forum in the Esikado Ketan constituency of the Western region, concerned residents highlighted the dire need for improvement in various sectors, including infrastructure, healthcare, and education. Here's a driver, Charles Yali, summarizing their challenges to Citi News.
Most of them politicians, they have taken us for granted. And drivers, especially drivers, they don't care about us. They don't even think about us. One manifesto.
Our politicians don't care or think about us as drivers. None of the government policies favor us. Just yesterday, I went to buy some spare parts and I couldn't afford it. So why should I vote for MPP or NDC? Our MP has also refused to fix our bad roads, and due to this, I've sold my car.
What reason? Is a road MP don't get about 20 years. Master, very bad road. Because of this road, I've sold my car. Because of this bad road,
you sold your car.
I've sold my car because I can't even repair it.
So that's a driver, Charles Yali, speaking there. Well, Vera Nimoso, residents of Kojokrom, registered her displeasure with the current health system in the vicinity.
Because Esha, first, Nanka chief compound, Kojokrom Gumbo, Nanka Yakoye, but
we initially visited the chief's compound at Kojokrom for healthcare, but often found ourselves being told that medicines were unavailable or that our health insurance coverage had expired. So, I don't even think the NHIS card is of relevance.
That's Veronimo, residents of Kojokrom, speaking to my colleague Philip Nilate. Now let's bring you some more stories. The National Democratic Congress and the New Patriotic Party have rejected a report by the Coalition of Domestic Election Observers, CODEO, which revealed low participation of party agents at the recently organized voter exhibition exercise. Now, while the NDC maintains it sent out agents to all centers across the country, the NPP says there is no specific provision that mandates parties to send agents to exhibition centers. They also argue that the presence or otherwise of party agents at exhibition centers do not play any role on the credibility of the voters register. Earlier, I interacted with both parties and filed this report. The Coalition of Domestic Election Observers, CODEO, in the report noted low participation of political party agents in the voter exhibition exercise, with NDC agents present at only 15% of centres and MPP agents at 10%. No agents from other parties were observed. The NDC's Deputy Director of Elections and IT, Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer, disputes this report, claiming it is inaccurate and insisting that the party instructed its branch executives to monitor the process at all centres.
The CODEO report is not accurate. It's not correct at all. It's not correct. They didn't get the true reflection of what transpired at the exhibition centres. The NDC deployed agents at all the centres. You know, we have branches. Our branches are conterminous with how do you call it, the polling stations. And so we have branch executives. So what we did was that we mandated our branch executives to take over the role of monitoring or observing the exhibition exercise. So CODEO didn't know that our branch executives were there as observers of the process. They were expecting us to have deployed a party agent standing there and wearing a tag to know that this is an NDC party agent. We didn't do that. We rather given that mandate to our branch executive. And that is how come we managed to get these discrepancies. If we hadn't deployed agents, how were we going to get these discrepancies?
For the ruling New Patriotic Party, the CI that regulates elections has no mention of agents monitoring these exercises, hence the low level of deployment to the exhibition centres. Haruna Mohammed is Deputy General Secretary of the NP.
I cannot verify exactly what the report is saying. However, what I do know is that CI 91, where it is stated for exhibition of the voters register, no mention about representation of political parties in terms of agents. So in most of the instances, when the law is very specific on the provision of agents, political parties are very much pretty sure that we provide. But when the law is not clear and this responsibility, some of which is not so much injurious enough to affect political parties' representation, we don't usually provide, but we observe.
Meanwhile, CODEO is urging the NDC to utilize the Inter-Party Advisory Committee, IPAC, to resolve its grievances on the voters' register. Haruna Mohammed agrees with this aspect of the report, describing the NDC as not exhibiting truthfulness in their demands for a forensic audit into the register.
I think that is the right call, because IPAC is a forum where all of us as political parties, we discuss some of these matters. And I believe that the NDC has not been very truthful to the general public, because we have always had a certain process of which we address our issues. The MPP raised issues with regards to voters register in the past. We brought the data that we did the analysis. We sent the data to the Electoral Commission before coming out to do a press conference to mention some of these things. They've raised these issues. The Electoral Commission has invited them. They went in there. They refused to give them the data. When we go to IPAC, some of these matters come and we discuss. So it is a right call by CODEO for the NDC to go to IPAC and get some of these particular matters addressed.
The NDC, on the other hand, appears not interested in using IPAC to resolve their grievances.
Were they not in existence when the MPP in 2016 were calling for audit of the register? And Madam Jean Mensah, when Jean Mensah was the IEA director and was calling for independent body to audit the register, why didn't CODEO refer them to go to IPAC? When we go to IPAC, IEA is sitting there. IEA has been sitting at IPAC for God knows year. Why did that? The CODEO didn't tell them they should go to IPAC. And I'm asking you, is IPAC a body that is meant to audit a register? What is CODEO talking about? We have given them our ways. And you see, it is their intransigent position that is giving us all this problem. What will it take to put up a body to audit the Electoral Commission? What will it take? What are they hiding from Ghanaians? The question is, what are they hiding from Ghanaians?
You heard Deputy Director of Elections and IT of the National Democratic Congress ending that report. Now, governance analyst Professor Bafwa Jimendia has called on politicians to be measured in their promises on the campaign platforms. This caution comes on the back of the numerous promises by leading political parties and other presidential aspirants ahead of the 2024 elections. According to the analyst, the current state of the economy cannot support setting promises, hence the call on politicians to be measured. Professor Bafwa Jimendia, in an interview with Citi News, also cautioned citizens to be measured in their expectations from political parties.
They should be. You see, at times I think politicians take undue advantage of the lack of sophistication of the citizens to make all kinds of promises. Our current situation where our economy is almost bankrupt, if not already bankrupt, and we know that we cannot even go to the international market to borrow because we have hit the ceiling of borrowing. In view of all this, if somebody comes to tell you, I'm going to build you, I'm going to buy you a plane, I'm going to build you an airport, I'm going to do this, you have to ask yourself, is this possible? Is this possible? So it's important for the politicians first to let the citizens know the nature of the economy of the country. And they cannot bypass that and make promises that they know too well the economy cannot carry at this time. So I think our politicians should level with citizens and avoid promises that are simply phantoms. And if they continue to do that, they make citizens lose trust in them. And in that case, I don't know how our politics will be played out in the future. So it's important for our politicians to be very measured in the promises that they give to the citizens.
You heard governance analyst Professor Bafwa Jimendia. Let's stay in politics because flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, has refuted the NPP's claim of creating 2 million jobs. NPP's Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has asserted that 2.1 million jobs were created between 2017 and 2022 despite global economic challenges. Now, speaking in Esutifi North during his Ahafut region tour, John Mahama dismissed these claims as false, labeling them as political maneuvers to attract votes. He also stated that there is no evidence supporting the NPP administration's job creation figures.
Obin timin dada yesa yebeboa emabunu no manya edwumaye abra NDC wa bemu na unemployment rate e wo Ghana ha ai say nipa ni edwumaye na 8.4%. And next one menum ka say emfie wotwe afro nipa ni edwumaye Afro akodru 14.7%, akakakra medru 15%. And so, Oman Penini na bedi chre. Almost say Oma created 2 million jobs. Almost say if you're watching, Oma created 2 million jobs.
We cannot be deceived. The unemployment rate during the NDC administration was 8.4%. But it has since risen. Despite the president and vice president claiming to have created over 2 million jobs, I ask, where are these jobs and how many have reached the residents of Jedu? This seems like mere rhetoric aimed at winning votes. That's why we are advocating for a 24-hour economic policy to create real job opportunities.
I just say, Enjume wo nyina yebe ma uma fa nipa. Ombe ye juma ebibe kwa anopa.
John Mahama is flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress. Let's stay on promises and campaigns. And the NPP flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has promised the people of Sege and its surrounding areas a sea defense project aimed at protecting the coastal community from tidal waves. Addressing the chiefs and residents of Sege as part of his campaign tour in the Greater Accra region, Dr. Bawumia says it is important to safeguard the fishing community and propose the construction of a mini harbour to boost local fishing activities. He assured the people that if elected president, Sege would undergo transformation.
We need a mini harbour, so we are going to work on bringing a mini harbour to Sege here for you. So that is a very, very important thing. And then, of course, very important, we need to do the sea defense for this area. So I have a lot to do for you. If I come back in 4 years, I'll have to give an account. What have I done with the sea defense?
You heard the NPP flag bearer, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News. When we return, organizers of hashtag Fix the Country demonstrations, Democracy have yet to receive court injunction preventing them from holding their protests. Meanwhile, police assures of readiness to provide security. We'll tell you more shortly after this break. Please stay.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Get ready for the ultimate battle of business minds at the Citi Business Olympics 2024. Join us for a day of intense competition, team building, and networking as companies go head to head in the various challenges to prove their skills and expertise. From traditional sports like seven-a-side football, basketball, sack race, and volleyball to unique challenges like tug of war and arm wrestling, there's no shortage of excitement and adrenaline pumping action. Don't miss out on this exciting event that will test your business acumen and athletic skills on the field. Date Saturday 28th September 2024. Venue Eden Heights Sports Complex, Wager. Time 8 a.m. Call 0558 973 973 for details on how you can participate and showcase your company's talents at the Citi Business Olympics 2024. Get ready to compete, collaborate, and conquer. The Citi Business Olympics 2024 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from 97.3 Citi FM and proudly sponsored by Beaver Beverages, Blue Jeans Energy Drink, Bethel Logistics, experts in shipping logistics, and Losati Lozenges from Unicom Chemist Limited.
Channel 1 TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on Channel 363. On GoTV, we're on Channel 117. And on HD+, get us on Channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search. But take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Channel 1 TV. Channel 1 TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box, like the DSTV and HD+ boxes. Channel 1 TV, telling your story, empowering change.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Yeah, welcome back. Now, the organizers of the Occupy Jubilee House and the Fix the Country demonstrations, Democracy Hub, say they have not received any injunction from the High Court preventing them from holding their planned protest. This follows reports that the Ghana Police Service has secured an injunction to halt the demonstration due to concerns over the proposed route. Now, in an interview with Citi News, Wendell Yabua, head of community engagement for Democracy Hub, stated that a group plans to go ahead with the protest.
We all are here and have witnessed this current president put his office on the line for this Galamsey issue. Why has he not been able to act? Why has no one been able to call him to action? It's all guaranteed on the system that we operate. The systems are not there. The checks and balances are not there. So the president, we have an imperial president who decides what he does and does not do at any point at will, and no one can do anything. This is injustice, and this is what we are calling for. The 3 days protest, like the question of my brother reacted to, it is just the beginning of things. We have been used to 1 day protest, and we have not seen any solution of that. We did the first 3 day protest last year. This is the second time we're doing this again. It will increase. The number of days will increase in proportion to the responses that we get from the demands that we're putting across.
You heard the head of community engagement for Democracy Hub, Wendell Yabua. Meanwhile, the Ghana Police Service is advising organizers of the upcoming Democracy Hub protests to reconsider their chosen locations, citing this court order that prohibits the demonstration at Revolution Square from September 21 to 23, 2024. At a press briefing, the Director of Public Affairs, ACP Grace Ansah-Kofi, clarified that while the protests cannot proceed at Revolution Square, alternative routes remain an option. Hence, the need for organizers to engage the police on this matter.
the Ghana Police Service has not stopped Democracy Hub from embarking on a demonstration from 21st to 23rd September as is going around. The only issue is that the police and the Democracy Hub disagree on the choice of location, that is the Revolution Square, for the planned protest. The service has duly communicated in a letter to the Democracy Hub that we are prepared to sit with them once again and agree on a location. And also that the Ghana Police Service has put in place sufficient security measures to ensure that they get the opportunity to exercise their democratic right of protest.
ACP Grace Ansah Krofi is Director of Public Affairs at the Ghana Police Service. Away from that, over 15,000 Ghanaians died from hepatitis B and C-related liver diseases in 2022. Now, this means 42 deaths each day on average. The deaths are recorded predominantly among young men and women suffering from liver failure and cancer. Now, this alarming statistic was reviewed by Dr. Patrick Kumabwaji, the Director General of the Ghana Health Service, during the Ghana Hepatitis Stakeholders Conference 2024 in Accra. He highlights the country's significant burden of chronic hepatitis B and to a lesser extent hepatitis C, noting that the impact is disproportionately felt in the northern regions. The conference aims to raise awareness among stakeholders and mobilize support for Ghana's commitment to eliminating these diseases. Let's stay on health, as the Ministry of Health has declared a public health emergency in the eastern regional capital, Koforidua, after a vaccine-derived poliovirus type 2 was detected. The highly infectious disease was identified through routine environmental surveillance by the polio laboratory of the Noguchi Memorial Institute for Medical Research and largely affects children, causing permanent paralysis. Now, this discovery has triggered immediate action from health authorities to prevent the virus from spreading. In a statement, the Health Ministry described the development as a serious concern while assuring the public of treating it as a public health emergency. Let's now bring you some illegal mining stories, and the devastating effects of illegal mining known as Galamsey have cast a dark shadow over Ghana's environmental and social landscape. In this report, Citi News' Nanatufo Boateng highlights the detrimental effects of Galamsey on Newsroom, a farming community in the eastern region.
Illegal small-scale mining, also known as Galamsey, has left a trail of destruction, causing deforestation, land degradation, and water pollution. The detrimental effects are felt by local communities, with water pollution, loss of agricultural land, and health hazards being the stark reality. A reality that perhaps appears lost on many. And so today, we'll delve into a critical and pressing issue such as illegal mining, which we call Galamsey, that continues to wreak havoc on communities and environments here in Ghana. I'm coming to you from a swamp in the Kwai Bibrem district of the eastern region, where the youth, frustrated by the activities of illegal miners, have taken action to bring some sanity in their community. As you can see behind me, these are equipment used for illegal mining. We are being told they've been confiscated, but leadership says that, well, they are keeping an eye on them to ensure that whatever distraction has been caused by these equipment is restored before being released back to their owners. We'll take you to one of the sites where the visible distraction is simply nothing but an eyesore. On one of the illegal mining sites in a swamp, you can hear music from the community, and this gives you an idea of the proximity of illegal mining activities to the town. Matter of fact, standing on the site, you can see the homes of indigents of the area. A youth leader in the community tells us what the place looked like before the activities of illegal mining, also known as Galamsey, began.
I say, I say, I who sabeni adin na wo honma. if I say 2 years ni ana you start with this galamsey ejumano. It's been 4 years.
This place was full of vegetation. There were palm trees all over. Illegal mining began here about 4 years ago, but it was not on such a large scale. Residents used to mine on the surface using some equipment to detect the gold. This entire place was a palm plantation. We also did some farming here. We were later informed that some people had come into the community claiming to have a license to mine. Unfortunately, they are mining in our water bodies and destroying it.
Na yampanyifo ahemfo me asote say nkofo bi aba so mkura paper o cheso mbetimi aye mining adwuma no awe krom ha ye kro na nkasa no ensuo na ye sabinom no enum mum na omoye mining no.
They also tell us some of the steps they have taken to put a stop to illegal mining in the community. This will include the seizure of some mining equipment.
The roads leading to our farms have been destroyed by illegal miners. They have dug holes in the road, rendering it unusable. They have destroyed the access roads to our farms. We want them to cover all the holes they have dug before releasing their equipment to them.
Answer na afidie no waye odia no wetimi afa ade akọ ba bia wo free ebaye.
The Mantehene of the community gives us an idea of the genesis of illegal mining in the community and what measures are being taken to stop mining in Esuom.
Ehia ni eja se ebia asase we opani we dia. We
have created boundaries to ensure ownership markings remain intact. Warning signs have also been put up to indicate ownership and safeguard the land for future use. The government is the one giving out licenses, so if it decides to stop giving out licenses to the miners, we cannot challenge that. My personal interest will not matter if the government places a ban on mining. I would have no choice than to comply.
A good message. Buy no on my licenses. Me my licenses. Sabine my licenses. No say ene. Me who say nyoma ekos no. Say o man with munya ya. Me amiti aminiano.
There's an urgent need to protect our natural resources and to safeguard the well-being of our people. It is a crucial time for Ghana to come together and advocate sustainable mining practices and to push for a future where our communities thrive and our people flourish. My name is Nanatufu Boateng, reporting from Esuom in the Kwabibrem district of the Eastern Region for Channel 1 News.
Well, let's stay on illegal mining because the Ghana National Association of Small-Scale Miners is advocating for closer collaboration between the Minerals Commission and community mining committees to combat galamsey. They argue that the military interventions have proven ineffective. Godwin Amma is General Secretary of the group.
It is a short-term solution to a long-term challenge. Nazim proposed the following. We propose the following. 1. Prioritize the water bodies and immediately clear all the illegal mining using floaters, polluting and causing siltation, which obstructs the waterways. Nazim at all our district levels will deploy our task force to the various mining districts in dealing with this menace as we've done in the past. And we will strongly collaborate with our traditional leaders.
You heard the General Secretary of the Ghana National Association of Small-Scale Miners, Godwin Amma. Before we go, news just coming in as President Akufo-Addo has assented to the Affirmative Action Gender Equity Act 2024 following years of advocacy. Parliament passed the Affirmative Action Bill in July this year. The purpose of the bill is to effectively address social, cultural, economic and political gender imbalances in the country. We'll bring you details of this in our subsequent bulletins. But this is how we wrap up today's edition of the Citi Prime News, which has been live from our studio in Adabraka, Accra. Do log on to citinewsroom.com for more stories. My name is Ajuatin Kramadomna. Thank you for your company. Good afternoon.